BTC and see the places that BTC bought from. I like to do that.
Mr. Ikena.
Yes, please. Mr. Ganiu, go on.
Thank you. Please, I would just like to take you back a bit. Please,
Okay.
can we go to the hours and time frame?
Can we go to where?
4 hours.
Okay.
I'm just trying to look at the market we just analyzed now.
All right. So this is 4-hour time frame.
Okay. Yes, this part where you mark the 2 buy zones.
Yes.
So I saw something. If we check back, I think there are 2 resistance zone here. The market was trying to move up, then it came down.
Here?
No, back a bit.
Resistance zone?
Yes. Just come to, I think the last
That's got
the last high.
The current high here. This current high.
No, the last one, before that one. Before that one.
Okay, this place here.
Yeah, those 2.
Yes, this is okay. Yeah.
Those 2 here. So they are like, the market was trying to move up, then it came down, then tried to move up again, came down. So when the market came back to this area, that same spot again. So it's now like a support. I don't know. From resistance. So it turns out to be a support here. That's what I'm thinking, though. I'm just trying to.
Which area turned out to be support? Which price? Got the price? Like
where the market is currently.
Okay, here.
Yes, where the market bounced back from that same spot.
Okay, from here you mean, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sharp. Yes, I got you. Yes.
So I'm thinking that the market might just move up a bit, then can now come down, probably come down later before moving back up, just like you said. But the market really respected that part, that zone a bit.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That zone, so that's why here weak rejection. Then it respected this place because here was a formal, and this place, to be honest with you, this place is a strong zone. And again, how to know a strong zone is you see that market reacted different times. This place pushed the market down. Then later market now came, and you can see that market had to use force. That's why you saw this aggressive push, this impulsive candle that came out and then finally broke this zone. So that's why this zone truly is holding the market. But the problem with this zone is that this zone, usually market respects this kind of zone because this was a former resistance, now is a support, which is very correct. That's what held the market and then trying to push. But you can see that one of the signs that you can even know that when the market got here, we're not even seeing a very strong buy. You can see that now there's a contention between buyers and sellers, right? So that's why it's extremely risky to buy here because now this zone, there's no OB here. In my next class, I'll talk about other block. So I'd like to buy from other block actually because this zone is a support zone. And you can see that the place is a bit weak, but market is just respecting because market has a way of respecting zones like this. But clearly, market is giving us sign, even with the candles that are even printing now. Let me try and zoom out a bit. Market is so. The question that observation that Mr. Ganiu made, he's very right on it. So what is actually influencing this small buy here is just this former zone that was a resistance zone now turned a support zone. So that's what is actually engineering this thing. But as you can see, that even the buyers and the sellers are still struggling here. These guys, the buyers don't even seem like they have upper hand, except for this green candle that just popped out and is looking a bit good, but not too impressive of a candle for a 4-hour time frame. So again, market most likely looks like it will drop here, at least from drop to anywhere around this zone here for us to see a buy. So he's right, you're very right on that. This is what actually market is actually respecting this previous resistance now turned support zone. And that's why we're having this bit of push. But if this zone was a strong zone, I believe that by now market should have been able to push, it would have pushed market quickly. If you want to see market that wants to now keep pushing, but market is still fit dragging here. So it's just a simple respect and courtesy that market is showing to this zone. But not to say that it won't break. Finally, most likely it might still break it. Now, let's look for other zones that market bought from. Let's see what happened. You see, let me show you, give you one reason. See, let me even extend this place. Market bought from this place. Let me extend this. You see why I said market is very predictable. I've extended this place, this zone. You see that this zone is strong. This is a 4-hour time frame. So I extended this to this point. See, you see what happened before? Market was going, market retraced here and went up. Market now still came down to this zone and finally bought from this zone, now pushed the market all the way to this point. Now let's look at something. Why I said, I clearly did not, market repeats itself. Mr. Ganiu, let me show you something. Just look closely and see what happened. How market respects zones. Let me draw this line. Take note of this line I'm drawing. Or let me just use small zone so that it will be clearer. Look at this small zone. If you notice something here, this place was a resistance zone, just like this other point. So market broke this resistance zone. What did market do? Market retraced. And market retraced to that place. Now this place, this place now turns support. Now, can you see what happened? As this place turns support, just like this, very similar to what is currently happening now. That's why I say market is very predictable. See, as it broke this resistance zone, it now dropped down to that zone. Now, this place now turns support for the market. You can see the consolidation. Market now moved up a bit. Imagine here, a lot of people would have excitedly bought from this zone where markets came and tapped on this previous resistance, now turned support. People would have bought from here excitedly because they're printing some green candles. But see what later happened. Market now retraced, broke that zone, and then finally dropped to a more valid zone before pushing to the upside. And I can submit to you that this market is doing exactly the same. A lot of people would have been buying from here excitedly. And the same thing that will eventually happen, that market will now finally break this place and still come down and later buy from here. You can see the market has a way of repeating itself. See what market did here. This is a resistance zone where you have major green and red candle, and this is a swing high. So swing high usually serves as a resistance zone because when market comes there, you can see what happens usually. So market broke it, came down, you can see the consolidation, gave people hope, and then later dashed their hope by dropping and breaking it. And then see, so it's exactly the same template. Now, let's go further again. So most times, this market is always important to take it step by step, and then you're looking at activities of the market. I'm looking for another clear example we can use. Okay, here there's an example here, but even though it might not be extremely clear, let me draw this, check from this swing high what happened. You see, so see here, swing high that was former resistance now turned support is not a confirmation for us to take our buys from there. It's not 100% guaranteed. This one, markets broke, this place was a resistance zone, market broke it. And then you can see that this place tried to hold, but later, market later broke this resistance zone to the downside before it now pushed up. So thank God for that observation you made. Just to be clear, resistance zone that now turns support is not a guarantee place for us to buy from. Yes, it might respect the market, do a bit of things and delay the market from taking decisions, but it's not a valid zone. So former resistance now turning support is not a valid zone for a buy. Because see what happened again. I've shown you another example. Now, this was a former resistance zone, a swing high. Market broke that place and then came down and stopped a lot of people out and then came down and then before it started buying. So that's what we have to look at clearly again. So, Mr. Ganiu, I hope that makes sense at least.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so a former resistance now turns support. Most likely, market will react around there, but it is not a valid point. It's not 100% guaranteed for us to start executing trades from. But however, it has a way of at least also giving the market some push again. So there is something I just want to do finally. Let's look at something. Let's see. So clearly, I had to shrink this market. Sometimes I do that a lot so that it will give me clarity again. I look closely again, and then I shrink the market, and then clearly, market is still showing me an up move. So it tells me that BTC is still going up. So what BTC is doing is retracement. Except it shows us otherwise, then that means we start looking for sales. I think clearly everything is pointing towards buy. So it's just for us to be patient. I've shown you guys how to mark set your alerts. Just come here and put alerts here so that we watch. So if you're putting alerts, I don't advise you put it below. You just put it a bit up so that you're quick enough to start looking at it so that it notifies you, not putting it down here. So that if it's getting top, at least a bit higher, slightly higher than your POI, so that once it starts getting there, you're quick enough to just start looking at activities of market before engaging. I think that's it. So I think it's a good place for us to stop. So any question, any observation, anything you want us to still talk about today before we call it a day? Miss Marian, Alpha, any question, any comment, any observation?
No, sir, we are good, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Jimmy, Alpha. Mr. Jimmy, are you on seat? Okay, it appears he's currently on seat. You're mute. You need to unmute. Are you on seat? Mr. Bulus.
Yes, sir.
Alpha, any comments, any observation, any question?
My comment is just my expression of an expression actually. I just gain more clarity. I know a lot about this structure, but I've never been able to understand. I know order block, I know fair value gap, but I'm very, very always confused. But I think I'm beginning to get clarity about. And then lastly, about this this observation that was just made, I think I'm beginning to understand something more about order blocks and reactions to zones. There are zones that no reactions, then you just leave them. So thank you about that.
Mr. Jimmy, you're back. You've unmuted.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yes.
muted. Yes. Any question, observation?
Yes. There's no observations. I think I'm familiar with this, and through your help, I'm familiar with it, and I know about them, and I know that the markets react in some zone due to maybe either resistance or support zone, sir. I'm okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Jimmy is I don't know, Mr. Jimmy, I don't know if you allow me to say this. Mr. Jimmy is one of our exclusive guys, and he's gone so far right now. I mean, he's doing amazingly well, and his trading, he has taken it to another level. Yeah, so he's very familiar with a lot of things now, and I'm very impressed. It's when I think of him, I'm always excited with the progress he has made so far. He joined with the exclusive team, so he's actually on another level right now. So if you ask him anything, I'm sure
very much, sir.
He will gladly, in fact, can even take this lecture. I'm lecturing right now. So, well done.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Mr. Ganio, how far? We're good.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been nice. So what I just need to now to map out those zones properly. I think that's the most important thing that I have learned, that how to map out zone, because that is where market really move and respects a lot. So
yes.
So that zone mapping is still what I am trying to understand better. So.
Okay. Definitely you will. You know, that's why I was very intentional with us starting with structure, because market, if you ask me, to be honest with you, by 70-80% of activities around the market is structure. So once you get that concept of structure, it gives you a fair idea of all of these things in terms of marking zones, POI, point of interest, and all that. So that's why I deliberately started with structure, because structure is actually very important. And technically, we've also touched our top-down analysis, because from description of our trading, we start from higher time frame to get the directional bias. We now start marking those zones around the 4-hour time frame, and then we refine them properly at 1-hour time frame. So for entries, we start looking at entries from around 15 minutes, 5 minutes. However, we mark those zones. We place alerts on those zones so that market notifies us, when it gets there. So basically, that's so this is our first class, and we're going to run this mentorship training stuff throughout this month. So we still have other sessions. So I'm very hopeful that as we progress, it will keep getting better. If our first session is like this, you can at least predict how the subsequent ones will be. And at least this first one, I think I strongly believe we've covered the grounds in our first lecture. So it can only get better and we'll get deeper and deeper. So this is basically like foundation for us to grow from. So start looking at more advanced things as we progress. So I want to thank everyone. In the absence of no other comment, question, except somebody has, but if not, I sincerely want to appreciate everyone and thank you for turning up to this session. And I'm hoping that we'll see you again in our next session. So within the week, we'll keep looking at trade opportunities, looking at signals, and then taking quality trades together in our platform. So this video, we've stressed over 2 hours. So the megabytes is actually very huge. So the team of editors, we actually have to pick the video, compress it and do a lot of editing, like see how they can compress so that we can be able to share the file. It's quite a huge file actually. Zoom lectures, once you stay beyond 2 hours, once you check, I'm sure it will be maybe approaching 300 MB or 400 MB. It's quite a large file. So if you allow me, you will still give us some bit of time, and while the guys in editing will just help us edit and then can compress and send it to you guys. So again, I want to appreciate you for coming, and then God bless everyone. Thank you so much.
But sir, sorry to cut you short. If they edit, it will still be complete, right?
Definitely, it's still the full dose, but it's large, the file. It's not something, I can't even push it to WhatsApp. Perhaps at the end we might be pushing it maybe through Telegram or something. Because WhatsApp, I think WhatsApp takes, WhatsApp, you can't send more than 30 MB if I'm correct. I'm not sure you can send up to, once a file is up to 30 MB, you can't send the file. We can put in the cloud, but those guys run all those things well. So of course they have it. We'll work out something. The most important thing is that at least we've been recording. So you get the full dose, yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Good to have you guys. So
Thank you,
until the
sir.
next session.